Need a miracle? A miracle as in a laugh? Maybe a prayer? Or a reminder about your life always evolving across the world? Well, prepare to crack open that fortune cookie and obtain that message that tells you that this is a well-made movie. It might look like the stupidest movie ever made on paper, but on screen, it's actually quite a thoughtful one. Aziz Ansari's film directional debut here is pretty appropriate considering that he was meant to direct a similar movie called Being Mortal, which was cancelled due to controversies. It may be revisited in the future, but for now, you get to enjoy Seth Rogen and Aziz Ansari in this supernatural comedy film, with the cast being rounded up with Keke Palmer, Sandra Oh, and Keanu Reeves. It blends humor that you would normally see in films today with strong themes of struggles and wealth issues, with a nice mixture of social commentary and differences. So what does this simplistic comedic film teach us about personal life issues? How does it effectively circle its talented cast? And why is it an important reminder for those in need of a miracle? In today's movie review, I will be talking about the 2025 comedic film Good Fortune. We will be having a proper in-depth look at how such a simplistic idea can come to life in proper fashion. To start with, we gotta just talk about how great this movie's cast is. It's generally carried hard thanks to the effortless charisma of its fantastic crew of normies. The three big main leads like Seth Rogen, Aziz Ansari, and Keanu Reeves offer plenty of laughs and strong human drama that will relate to a lot of viewers. There's also great chemistry grown between them, and they also bring about some laughs. When I say laughs, I mean a lot of it. Keanu Reeves plays a budget guardian angel, and once he becomes human in the real world, he goes all out in showing us the true meaning of heart. How an action star this good looking can deliver massive laughs in an age like this is unbelievable. But otherwise, this movie's cast rocks. It's essentially what makes this movie highly rewatchable most of the time. For a film that's got well-timed bits of humor, it's directed beautifully by Aziz Ansari, considering that he's involved in everything here in terms of production and screenplay. Looking at it in its overall creation and elements, you can really see his film career summed up in this one film. Aziz Ansari blends his signature comedic style with adult-oriented storytelling to make it stand out amongst its targeted audiences. Its R rating allows its potential to be unleashed, ensuring its place. The premise is unique. The production values, while cheap and looking a little lackluster, give off the strong vibe of watching something so young adult oriented, and the cast was well chosen. It's interesting because this movie was meant to be the currently cancelled Being Mortal film, which would have been released at this point. But because controversy started spreading during the filming, it was turned into this, bringing its identical cast alongside its adult themes. It's also very good on its own if you like a laugh and don't really mind this movie's concept. When speaking about this movie's themes and messages, it does so extremely well with some powerful social commentary, which tackles themes of money, income, and class differences. Basically, if your life is miserable, then you gotta get a job. Money doesn't buy happiness all the time. Relatable themes are scattered everywhere here. They will easily relate to someone just not successful at life at all, as well as to someone who is living the time of their life. It's all about being positive and living your life to its fullest. Plenty of sides of the spectrum are shown to their fullest, with tackles messages of empathy, gratitude, and selfishness. And about its themes, it takes itself away from the life doesn't buy everything cliche, and instead showcases how wealth can solve anyone's problems. If money is important to you, this movie will effectively showcase those issues. It's basically telling us to be careful what we wish for, as if we go overboard with wealth and our life, then that pressure is added much more. Make sure you always think twice before you speak. The narrative is constructed very nicely and effectively balances well-scripted storytelling with its characters alongside its shorter runtime, great pacing, and plenty of strong dialogue. For its narrative, it focuses on plenty of characters. You effectively get to see both sides of personal life, including being poor and being rich. It's extremely relatable for anyone who's in whatever position in wealth. It doesn't get very complicated in any circumstance. When it focuses on one story, it brings viewers into that POV whilst tackling the next. You also get to see Angel being a budget guardian, seeing how he saves people's lives from car crashes whilst texting and driving. None of the characters feel wasted at all. They all get their time to shine at least once throughout the storytelling. It's really interesting how the film focuses on its main message that even having wealth and success will not solve one's problems. It's all proven after Gabriel loses his wings as punishment for Arj and Jeff's lives being switched around. It's hard trying to be the person you were meant to be, but if those problems can't be solved from greed, then nothing will. Lastly, this movie has a very great tone, which, for me anyway, is very consistent and doesn't go completely overboard. Yes, on paper, this movie looks like one of the most stupidest movies ever made, but after watching it, it's quite a thoughtful one with its tackled elements, and the humour is timed very well as it's not completely forced. It's life in a nutshell. It may be fun being a filthy rich man, but you also gotta explore how awful it must feel being someone's slave or not having the life you want. It's quite serious at times, so it manages to blend in-depth character development, humour, social commentary, and emotional depth. It also has that strong setting of being able to explore what life feels like the more you grow older as time goes by. You get to see that strong world building and what we as adults go through. The little attention to detail on both sides of the spectrum was a clever and smart move whilst adding the expected laughs. My only real negative about this movie is its overuse of product placement, which is easily visible across the film. Many of them are quite easy to point out most of the time. Not just that, but since this movie's budget was really cheap, the production values are also not quite a standout since they failed to make this movie feel more expensive or alive. Because of these glaring issues, it makes this movie feel more like something ripped right out of a TV series rather than acting like a movie. More like an extended TV episode if I'm being real here. While the film does try to be original, it fails to step out of the shadows as a well-balanced story, often needing to rely on its lackluster script to have any sort of chance at standing out amongst the competition of comedies that came way before it. I generally hope that the comedy genre of films can make its grand return like in the old days. This is a step in the right direction, but nothing more. Good Fortune may look like one of the most stupidest movies ever made, but it's actually a really thoughtful one with an earnest heart at its core. I really appreciated how well this film was structured alongside its appeal to its targeted audiences. The voice cast consisting of my favourites like Seth Rogen, Aziz Ansari, and Keanu Reeves especially are amazing, and they are having such a great time doing this film all together. It has some very powerful social commentary that will resonate in you for a while. The messages are very relatable, especially if you are a young adult watching and need to see how hard life can be sometimes. The themes are also a highlight. It's directed effectively with its social drama and its humour. Its tone is balanced out well. It's very laugh out loud funny many times. Please give Keanu some chicken nuggies. And it balances storytelling with some pretty decent narrative points. The only flaws are that product placement is everywhere, which makes it look like something ripped right out of a TV show. And I think the plot is pretty complex, as it could have been structured a little bit better, especially for one that doesn't focus on as many cliches as one would expect. But otherwise, this is an entertaining movie that should be explored more rather than cracked. I hope this movie can be explored more in the future so that people who are growing into their adult age can witness life struggles when at a poor point, as well as definite highs when at a rich point, especially with greed, foolishness, and selfishness. Good Fortune is worth a second look if you are looking for tackles on life constraints or if you need a laugh, which, let's be real, some of this movie's well-timed humor is nothing short of a miracle. Good Fortune proves that life doesn't buy everything by showcasing Aziz Ansari's effective direction with thought-provoking commentary and a humorous team of angels beamed greatly from Keanu Reeves. My final score for this in-depth movie is a 9 out of 10 and a grade A. Despite a few flaws that don't quite make it a flawless angel, it's pretty made out well and it holds its own as a pretty ingenious piece of entertainment. As someone who was slowly approaching adult life, I got plenty of kick out of this movie's constant laughs and themes. It's pretty interesting how life sometimes isn't fair, as well as how life is always fair when things are just right. This movie will always leave a sharp reminder in my mind of how it defies mental struggles for a long time. But with that being said, leave a like on this video if you guys did enjoy my review on Good Fortune. And also remember to subscribe if you are new and hit that bell icon to see more content on my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll catch you all later. Take care of yourselves.